What's up? Whoa, what's going on? Football Friday, joined by Clemmer and Marty Mush. Brought to you by Cars.com. Cars.com is a leading digital marketplace that connects car shoppers with their perfect car. Celebrating 25 years of helping shoppers research, find inventory, finance, and sell cars wherever life takes you next and whoever you're looking to be. There's a car for that on Cars.com. Up to 50,000 cars are added daily to Cars.com. Shop over 2 million cars for 2 million possibilities. Find your next possibility on Cars.com. Where to next? Lot to talk about. Some baseball series at Thursday Night Football. I will be the first to put my hand up as much as I did with Wisconsin. The New Orleans Saints cannot win the Super Bowl.
Big of you.
But I will say this. They've been in a ton of close games. I feel like their record should be a lot. They could have been one of those teams that's 5-1.
I'll give you that. I think that they're not as bad as their record, but let me tell you something. They know how to put themselves. Derek Carr sucks. He makes some bad decisions. He shows them good, and then he lost them that game yesterday, 100%. What's his name? Moreau, whatever.
Moreau
Should have caught that pass.
Yes, he should have.
But, they're not in that position if he doesn't throw that pick six or whatever it was. It was like he just makes some bad decisions, and I feel like their whole offense yesterday was dump it off to Kamara.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like Kamara had – what was Kamara's stats yesterday? Like 10 catches for
he had a ton of catches.
I can pull it up. Sorry, I'm tweeting the stream now. Bang.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Mark. He had a ton of catches. I mean, I was obviously watching mostly baseball yesterday, but every time I flip back to the football, I saw
Kamara had 12 catches for 91 yards.
Yeah.
It's like they just kept dumping it off to him.
I don't hate that strategy, though, of getting the ball to a running back on receptions in space, for especially a guy like Kamara. But I agree. A lot of them would dump offs.
Is Carr just washed up? Is that kind of where we are with it?
I mean, I say it.
32.
I've said it a bunch of times. Yeah, there's guys who the game gets past them. You think it's going to work out. Like Matt Ryan, games past them. Russell Wilson, games past.
Yeah.
Them. So there are guys like that. I thought this would rejuvenate Carr.
Me too.
Playing a dome, a lot of weapons.
Good crowd, good fans there.
Real good fans. Turns out it's not. It's clearly not working.
Matt Ryan had what we knew he was done. That was.
I didn't know he was that done.
I disagree. I didn't know that.
People
knew he was done.
He was on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, but I didn't know he was that.
People thought he would make.
Yeah.
No, I did too. No, I'm saying, but we knew he was 1 year when he did that year. We're like, oh, he's done.
Oh, the end is coming. We knew that. But
the Saints, he signed a 4-year contract.
Oh,
4 years this team has the Saints where they have. Their defense has gotten so much better than it used to have. And now they do have weapons like a healthy Michael Thomas. He scored a touchdown yesterday. Kamara, Jamal Williams behind. They have – and Olave's an unbelievable receiver as well. They have the talent, but he is not the quarterback for them. He's not. It's crazy. I'd love to see Jameis get in there. I'd love to see him. I don't think he's definitely the guy, but
because they're never going to be out of that division race.
No.
Panthers are, but the other three are in there.
Yeah,
100%.
And they probably, like you said, Rico, they probably will be all season.
Yes,
they will be all season. It's just they're a front.
Hey, shit! I live bet the Falcons last year to win that division.
Yeah,
I was like, they're still alive. The Bucks were so bad. I'm like, I'm telling you, the Falcons were right there. Some Thursday night games. They think they lost to the Panthers.
And look who's right there again. Night. The Falcons are right there.
Agreed. Yeah.
The Bucks are 3-2 in the first right now.
It's a bad division.
I have a healthy debate for Chris Clemmer. So before Aaron Rodgers, the Jets quarterback they were targeting was Derek Carr. If Derek Carr was the Jets quarterback, what would their record be right now?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. Maybe 4-2. I don't know. He's been bad. It's hard. It's hard to do that. I don't know. I probably wouldn't be much different, honestly.
I think it's the exact same.
That's fair.
I'll answer it. You would have had there's 6 games so far.
You might.
Yeah.
There would have been 6 close games. 6 one-possession games, and legitimately, Derek Carr would be the X factor if you want to lose those games. But you'd have a better chance in every single one.
Yeah.
Yeah, coin toss, I guess. Yeah.
You don't know. You could be 1-5, or you could be 5-1.
I don't disagree with that at all. Every game with the Jets has been, except for when they got blown out, has been like a heart attack.
Yeah, I think that game yesterday told me more about the Saints than the Jags. So I think the Jags
won 4 in a row now.
They won 4 in a row, and they had that loss to the Texans that people were off on them, right?
Yes.
That was where I was like, I don't know. The Jags are a confusing team to me as well because they let the Saints get back into that game.
That's the question I have off of it. And I don't love Lawrence like everyone else loves Lawrence, but I'm starting to come around on it. What is the Jags ceiling? Because now I'm starting to talk myself into a Super Bowl.
I know.
Because they're going to win that division and have a home game as well. So you can't.
Let me look at some numbers here.
I just Kansas City though. I mean, it's like
No listen,
the Chiefs are there,
I am
it's
rooting.
just-
It's crazy because I have no ties to Kansas City. I really don't. But dynasties are kind of cool, and I think it'd be fun to have to watch the greatest and then watch a guy rival the greatest right after. So I'm very much rooting for Mahomes to start toying with Brady's records and make that a true debate and watch it through the prime. Because even Brady, like, I didn't necessarily appreciate it, when he was early. I was 16, 17. Don't get me wrong. Like, there were some days on Sunday, if you were going to go to the mall out with, or with your friends, you missed NFL Sundays.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just being honest.
No, I did the same thing when I was 16, 17.
Yeah, to be honest. Like,
every 16-year-old does that.
same with college. Like I've said, like there were times I went to school in Massachusetts, watched a lot of the Patriots, but wasn't my team. So there were times, if we're gonna go out or whatever, you hung out. Like the NFL in that period, you didn't appreciate it like you appreciate it now, where it's like truly your only hobby. So to watch the greatest, because I did watch a lot of Brady, obviously, and then to watch Mahomes' whole career through, I think it's kind of an interesting run of like appreciating.
It's like
you have
and going from like Ruth to DiMaggio.
100%.
It's unfortunate, though, that a lot of people don't look at it like that. I look at it like that. I like dynasties. I like seeing the best. But, like, people are already hating the Chiefs because they're, like, it's like the Warriors.
But football, the way I've done this before, I think that's what Dave cracked on me. I opened because, I mean, listen, you don't know who's going to call in on the show. So I was like, I'm going to need some time to fill to open it. But the NFL, if you look at the history all the way back, like off the top of my head, the Patriots were a dynasty for 20 years. Before that was in the late, like a portion of the Steelers, Cowboys. Then going into the 80s was
Redskins.
Them.
They won 3
Steelers into the 70s. Like if you look, there's been what? Oh, Phil shook his head. Not. Like the NFL has been very much. Yeah. Dynasty.
Even the beginning of the Super Bowl with Packers. Even the very beginning. And then before that, you had Cleveland. You really have always had dynasties in the NFL.
That's honestly the NBA as well.
That as well. Yeah. I mean, the Bulls through the 90s.
The only one that's
Spurs through. Warriors through.
Several.
Yeah, there's been sporadic championships sprinkled in. But for the most part, we run through. The only one that I could say is not really is baseball. I think baseball.
I mean, baseball had the greatest dynasty of all time with the Yankees.
100%. But
that was a long time ago.
Consider the Astros a dynasty? What we're watching right now.
Yeah,
if they win.
You know what?
100%.
Yeah,
if they win this year, then absolutely.
Right.
I even think even now though,
pretty much are now, but this puts them into that category.
Yeah.
But like in the 80s, was there a definite dynasty in baseball?
No, not at all.
Other than the Yankees, obviously. But
70s, you had like the Big Red Machine, and which led right into the Yankees. They both repeated. And then you had a pretty long layoff. You didn't have a repeat champion again until the Blue Jays, 1993.
The Yankees that's an early 2000 dynasty. Their 2009 is a standoff.
Yes, it is.
Consider that.
No, I consider the Yankees.
And then from 2009, we have not had a major dynasty like that. Now, you're right. Should have respected the Astros to a degree. A little bit more. That's a good call, Phil. But, yeah, like the NFL, like I'm rooting for the Chiefs. It's more comfort. Like even if you hated the Patriots, from a guy who didn't have a horse in the race, it was fine to me to have at least, like, all right, get to back Brady again in a major game and gamble on him, or you're watching his demise. The storylines sold. I didn't want two teams I didn't care about. Like the Panthers and Broncos, that Super Bowl, dud. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like when those Super Bowls pop up, like even the the Steelers were a dynasty as well. Like they were good. But I'm trying to think, like Packers Saints, was that a Super Bowl? No, Packers. Who am I thinking of? Packers, Steelers. Steelers. Who was it? Saints, Colts. That one didn't really jump off. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
that had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
I know, but I'm just saying. Like
Bears,
I'd rather
Colts,
have. I'd rather have. Oh, the Chiefs are in it again. I'm not bored with that. Like it's either I'm getting to back Mahomes or you're watching Mahomes' demise, or it's the underdog takes down the demise.
Dynasties are only great to root for when your team
Well,
is
the dynasty,
absolutely
I should say.
god awful and there's like
Yeah.
you'd rather just be one person
Right.
winning it
The
all. You don't
Yankees,
see, like, different
I
people
don't
take-
like rooting for the Astros because they are the reason why the Yankees can't go anywhere further.
And
Right.
I like rooting for the Astros because my team hasn't competed. Like,
Yeah,
after
exactly.
that.
It's
Yeah.
fun to root against the dynasty.
Same with the Warriors. The Knicks have not
Yeah,
been in
it's
the
funny to
discussion.
root against.
so much fun.
Give me the Warriors. Put
I
the Warriors
hated
in the
the
finals every year.
Like Yankees from '96 to 2000 when they won all those World Series. Like I was rooting against them, and it was like it made the World Series more fun.
It did. As long as you have, either your team. The obvious choice is your team. The next choice is your hated team, no matter what you say. Because it would, I mean, even Frank, like now that the Braves are out, does the World Series have? Well, the Phillies do as well.
But he hates the Braves so much, though.
I think a perfect World Series is the Phillies Astros at this point.
Oh,
Because I'm hate watching the Phillies. You also have the dynasty. I think a lot of people would hate watch. I think a lot of people would hate watch the Phillies. I think a lot of people would hate watch the Astros.
If it was the Texas Rangers against the Diamondbacks, I don't think anyone would want.
The only thing.
I still would, but
oh yeah, I mean the Rangers.
that's about it.
That's not what Fox wants. I'm sure you're right.
100%.
But the Rangers have never won a World Series in history. That's interesting to me. I know I might be all over that.
The Astros Phillies rematches are way better.
That's a good storyline,
Right.
right? There's good drama there.
But the thing with the dynasty in the football this year, like the best thing about the AFC is that you're still going to get, if just you don't get the Chiefs, you're getting the Dolphins that are exciting. You're getting the Bills that are exciting. You're getting there's two teams here where you're looking at Super Bowl odds now. The Bengals 25-1 is still a great bet. The Jaguars are 22-1.
I think that's the one I'm going to
That's
jump.
another
I think
one.
that's the one I'm going to jump on. And
then-
I hate it because I don't want Lawrence to be
Still
in
have-
the elite.
yeah.
But you can't rule them out.
Ravens 18-1. Like there's a lot of teams still that you can get in the AFC, and it's just funny the Niners and the Eagles 400, 750. That's only
And the Lions.
Is there a
the Lions at
possibility-
13-1.
Am I?
Lions the only other team.
I
All right,
know.
so the North, all the North teams are probably going to beat up on each other, unless the Ravens go ballistic. And I think the East teams, aside from the Patriots, are going to beat up on each other. The Dolphins could go nuclear. I don't think the Bills can go nuclear, but the Dolphins can go nuclear. My point is, can the Jaguars be sitting at the 2 seed and avoid KC all the way to the AFC Championship game? That's part of my bet too.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely they
that's
can.
the way I'm looking.
They had the Cowboys at 12-1.
I think that the Patriots are not a good football team, obviously, but when it comes down to that seeding and how the AFC could shake out, when you talk about putting up a stink, one of those teams is going to get screwed by the Patriots.
100%.
It's getting a win that they shouldn't get. That's my take. Like whoever wins the AFC East, like Pats beat the Dolphins or Bills one time.
Right.
That could be the division.
Yeah, I mean, who's really challenging them in the South? Like, go through the Jaguars' schedule the rest of the way. Like, can they get to 13
I have a
wins?
question for you too. Why don't you want to root for Trevor Lawrence?
I just didn't. I don't think he's that elite yet. Like
So is this your
You don't
Justin
want him to be
Herbert for
elite?
me?
Like where did you read?
a little bit.
Where-
No, but I don't have a gripe against him. Like I
Seems
obviously
like-
liked him in college.
What about, like Josh Allen when he was on the precipice when he got the Stephon Diggs the first year, he was like on the borderline of being like, could he take the next step and became elite? Were you not rooting for
I
him?
think Allen got into the club before anyone expected it. I think now if we're reevaluating, like if there was a fire drill and we put everybody outside, I don't know if Allen's in before Lawrence, if that makes sense.
All right.
But Allen already got in, so you can't really take it. We discussed it after week 1 with the Bills, with Allen. We were like, is Allen? I think he's turned out fine, obviously. It was maybe a little bit of an overreaction, but, it is what it is. But
Oh, by the way, you mentioned the Jaguars schedule. So,
Check.
Um,
They're like your mic's not on.
all
but
good.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
turned
early.
it
all
up
good.
so
All
loud.
It wasn't on. Yeah.
so
I turned it up loud too.
I think the Jaguars have
what's their record right now?
5-2. They still have games against the Niners, against the Bengals, both at home, and the Ravens also at home. But other than that, it's pretty soft.
Right. The other thing is, you got to start worrying about their coach, right? Their coach has never done it. Jaguars coach, he never won a Super Bowl. Oh, wait, yeah, he did with Nick Foles.
Yeah.
I like my odds.
Well, you got to fucking pick, dude. You have to pick.
I'm in on it. No, I'm in on it.
You
Yeah,
don't
I'm in
want
on
him to
it.
be elite, but you want him to win a Super Bowl.
Put
you
your
gotta
future in
pick.
right now.
No, I'm just I'm weighing both sides.
I
of it.
get
It's
it.
not like I'm coming in being like I'm
I
all
need
in
you
on the
to
Jags.
pick- No, I need you
I'm
to
just
pick right
laying
now.
out truthfully.
No, he's like I think there's a lot.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Jags.
There's a lot to be said for evolving.
What's crazy is that in the AFC Championship game or at any point, if the Jaguars play the Chiefs, I will be hammer playing Mahomes because I don't bet against Mahomes.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm in a tough spot. But, yeah, so to get back to what really took off this tangent, like, what is the Jaguars' ceiling? Could you see the Jaguars winning a Super Bowl? I think I could.
As a
I
Trevor
just-
Lawrence fantasy owner, I just want him to get 20 points in a game.
Thanks, Bill.
Has he not done that yet?
That was the most online thing of all time.
No, he hasn't. He's got 18 last night, and that's the
Jeez.
most of the season.
So
Sorry
listen
for your
to
loss,
this,
Phil.
though. Listen to this, right? They beat the Colts week 1. The Colts rookie, that was his first game. Lose to the Chiefs, they scored 9 points. Lose to the Texans by 20. And then they beat the Falcons and the Bills both in London, which is also a weird game.
Yes, it is.
Then they beat the Colts. They beat the Colts again, which is whatever. And then they beat the
shitty
Saints. So
Saints.
it's like, I'm not
sold on him yet.
schedule, but that is not like the most impressive.
Counterpoint.
Yep.
Counterpoint.
Go for
I
it.
think that like when you look at it, in my opinion, when you look at the first 6 weeks, if you're progressing week over week, that's way more impressive to me when I'm looking at a team rather than standalone week 1. What do they do against X team?
Right.
Week 2, what do they do
agree.
against
But
Y
what
team?
about the teams that they play? Like you still have to look at that.
Yeah, but like I don't, and I get why you'd make this argument. If I was trying to talk myself out of the Jaguars, I would talk myself out being like, oh, they beat the Bills, which is like a pretty good team or a great team, but they did it in London. There seems like you can't just do 2 games and say but. You can't really.
Well, it
You
wasn't
can't
two,
decide.
it was,
You can't decide who you play. I said this last week with Michigan. You can't decide who you play. It's how you play against them.
Yeah, no, but there was 2 games that they played against people that wasn't good. That's
All right,
what
Marty. So I'll push back. So here's the test. So the next game is at Steelers. They should win that, I would think.
the next.
Then they have a bye week. Then the test.
Yeah.
Niners at home after a bye week. No excuses. That is when we see if they're for real or not.
Wait. See, if they lose to the Niners, are you saying
No.
you're out on them, or are you saying they compete with
No,
them?
I don't.
No, they win.
Right.
Basically, it's like if they beat the Niners, I'm like, oh, then I could see.
I just think
Alright.
you have to play with the Niners. I don't think you have to win.
I agree with that.
Like if you
Right.
play 6 tough games, to me, you don't have to go 5-1.
I'll be honest. I don't think it has anything to do with
You could even have a losing record of those games. But if you look at those 6 games of, let's say they played the Eagles, 49ers, Chiefs, Bills, and give me another contender. Dallas.
Eagles.
Dallas. I know that's crazy. Like it's a crazy schedule, but I'm using those 6 teams because they're top of the list. If they went 2-4 in those games, but were in all of them, maybe there was a weird bounce against them. The whole way through, you thought they could win all 6 of those games. The 2-4 doesn't bother me. They're going to get into the playoffs. Yeah, they have to go on the road, but I've seen them compete with all of these teams. That's the same way. I still think the Jets are.
I was just gonna say that's the Jets.
That's why
argument.
the Jets are a little scary. They got tape on all these guys, and no one's blown their doors off. And hell, they beat the Bills without Wilson. When Wilson was walking in with a fucking visor and a clipboard.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not. If the Jaguars lose the 49ers, again, that's not like they're out. But I think it's the next game against the Steelers, where the Steelers have I'm talking about when teams have good defenses. The Steelers have very good defense. Like, I need to see Trevor Lawrence in that offense against those type of defenses where they kind of do like the Chiefs. They scored 9 points. The Texans have kind of had a good defense as of recent. They lost to them. The Saints. How the Saints defense actually this year?
Pretty good.
Pretty
It
good.
was
Pretty
yeah.
good. Like so that was impressive yesterday. That's where I think it's need to put a couple of games together where.
Yeah.
I don't think it's crazy to say they could win the Super Bowl. I don't think it's crazy.
I think it's insane.
Yeah, I think
No.
the Jags ceiling is pretty high. So
I think that it says too is it's. Do you think they're a top 10 team?
Yes.
not right. Oh,
Top 10?
Jaguars?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, let's go through it. 49ers, not in order. 49ers, Eagles,
Chiefs.
Dolphins, Bills, Chiefs is 5.
Ravens,
6.
Bengals still in the discussion. Dallas,
I have the Jaguars
Lions.
ahead of Dallas, but that's me.
Lions for sure.
Are the Lions better than that much better than the Jaguars? They are better, I guess, but
So yeah, that
So they're are the Browns up there? So
No, I
I
have the
think they're
Jaguars
better
ahead
than-
of the Browns.
Jaguars are ahead of the Browns. I
Me
think.
too. That's what I'm saying. I think they're.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
around.
Top 10?
I think they're around 8 to 10.
Yeah.
So then I think it's like Marty. I think it's fair for you to nitpick then to the degree that you're like they could be top 5. Top 2 is like you're almost perfect.
Yeah.
Where you think they could like there's areas to improve and they're not like a legitimate top 5 team yet.
Yeah. I
So
think they're
that's
on the
fair.
fringe.
They're
Yeah. I
very,
think
you think they're a very good team.
Yeah, I'm not. This is nothing against them. I think that they just have a little left to prove. But again, it's only 7 games in. I think because there's a lot of 3-2 teams where I'm like, are they that good? There's a lot of 3-3, 3-2 teams that I'm looking at right now. I'm realizing.
Rico hosts a show called Healthy Debate. I don't know if you guys heard it. That was the most healthy debate that happened all week. We had 4 shows this week. That was the healthiest debate.
That was a healthy debate because we all had points. We saw the other side's point and didn't yell at each other.
The other good thing is I'm in on another future, which we know I love. So.
You do love futures. You do love.
Eventually going to get one to the window.
Yeah. Avid listener Trevor Lawrence reading that Rico took the Jaguars. He's like, fuck.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the Jag ceiling. I think is definitely an interesting one.
Hey, let me just ask you a quick question.
Sure.
Since we're allowed to talk about this now. If you're hypothetically in a Survivor League, this is a tough week.
Yeah, this is where it really starts to get crazy.
I hate this
Who
league.
would I look at?
It's the Seahawks is like #1 kind
Oh,
of.
The
that's what I
Bills,
was
if you
thinking.
haven't
Yeah, but the
taken them yet.
Seahawks at home is a good. Oh, you got 6 teams on a bye.
Bills against the Patriots.
Can't take the Vikings. Can't take the Eagles. Probably already
Like,
took
if
the
you-
Chiefs.
You think you take the Bills or
What about the Rams?
Only a 3-point. They're 3-point favorite.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
favorites
yeah.
shouldn't matter. They're
I
at
kn-
home.
I
They got the
know.
Steelers.
it's just a scary game. You know what I'm
It's a scary
saying?
game. I know. I'm leaning toward betting the Rams, but I'm scared.
I think it's the Rams.
I don't know. I mean, Mike Tomlin, great as an underdog, awful as a favorite. So
Yeah.
that's why I'd stay away.
I think it's the Rams over the Seahawks, obviously. But you want to, in this type of thing, depending on how many people are left, you want to avoid the top pick. Unless you think every person is going to take that pick, and then you either all win or all lose and move on to the next week or split the pot, whatever it is. But at a certain point, I think, you might have to you go away from the top picks in this.
My
these
take
type
is just
of
take the
weeks.
best pick. You want
Yeah,
to
a
survive.
week like this horrible slate, I just try to survive.
Yeah.
Something just came across my desk,
What do you got?
and I have the perfect stock for you now. I'm looking at the defenses from the NFL when I was looking at the NFL power rankings. So when we're talking about Trevor Lawrence, not to spend more time on it, but Falcons, Chiefs, Saints, all 4, 5, 6 in total yards allowed, like being like top 6 defenses. So he has played some pretty good defenses. I know that's not like taking into effect like the analytics that can dive deeper into like how
Right.
true really good defenses are, but based on that,
I mean, the Pats' defense is not this good.
Phil,
It's been a while. You got to
We're
take.
having a healthy
You
debate.
got
no,
one
no.
win. You got one win.
I
You
didn't say
gotta-
anything. I didn't say anything.
Phil has to throw his shots in. He has so many show. He has to do. He's got his quota.
All I see is that fucking that like troll meme. Like,
Yeah.
What he does.
you know,
He does it better than anybody. We do have Brad coming up in a couple of minutes. Dukes, you got that?
we'll find out.
So we'll get into college. But I want to touch on the catch last night for Shaheed, which I did give out. I've been giving out the touchdown scores. Bet not first touchdown, anytime touchdown. He was like 250, I think it was, or 275, or around whatever he was at. That fucking catch was. I thought he was gonna drag that foot too.
Yeah,
I mean, that came in. It was a hell of a catch.
I don't know how the Saints don't. I know Morrow dropped that ball, but you got to get it in the end zone at the end of that game. You have to.
Do you hear Al Michaels? I love Al Michaels.
He
Grew up with
sucks.
Al Michaels. Al Michaels is my pinnacle. He was so. Now I watched mostly baseball last night, but I did watch the end of that game. He didn't know the Christian Kirk touchdown happened. He thought he got off on the 1, and then that last play, it made it sound like it was a 2nd and 7 1-yard run. It was so no emotion. He's checked out.
The Christian
think it's-
Kirk one was really bad. Like, Al Michaels doesn't get a lot of hate online.
And he shouldn't.
And he shouldn't.
he shouldn't.
But yesterday he
Agree with
deserved
that.
it because he was awful. I was
It's
watching.
sad.
One of the times I was watching the game, I'm like, Al, you got to wake up, dude. It was like, where are you at right now?
So
You know?
what? He doesn't care.
It's a weird pairing too, because like I love Herb Street. I think Herb Street's the best college guy that's out there in terms of play-by-play or analysis. I think he can be funny.
I do think he's a
I obviously
analyst.
he will always have points with me too for how much he takes care of Corso, which he does. If you watch,
He does. No, yeah,
he
yeah.
takes care of that.
He's like his caretaker.
He literally takes care of him, helps him, knows that the guy could be, run out and people can make a punchline of him, but he knows he's been there so long, he deserves the respect, so he helps him coach with this.
He
Like,
shouldn't. Let's be honest. He shouldn't be on the show anymore. He's too old. But he is doing a good job helping him.
100%. And ESPN knows what they're doing the right thing, that they're putting Corso in the right spots.
Yeah.
Because Corso for 3 hours, let's face it, like, it'd be a worse show. So they put him in, and he's supposed to have the showmanship at the end. That's what he should do.
And I still like it when he does.
100%. It's gonna suck when he's not making the picks. I grew up on that. But I don't know if Herb Street really fits in on the NFL. I think he fits in great with the NFL draft because he knows all those college guys and he can tell you what he's going to bring to the table. But, yeah, with the NFL, it's like.
It's a weird pairing.
I also don't think it's so. I don't know Herb Street at all. I mean, I know him.
Wouldn't it be better off to just – I know he goes to the town on Friday, but, like, wouldn't it be more – or wouldn't it be better to just use Herb Street on a Thursday night game in college or try to make –
Nah,
For what? SMU Houston?
Yeah. I'm just saying but it doesn't work for him in the NFL. Let's face it.
I don't know. So I'm not willing to say that, Rico. That's not fair because I think he has a bad matchup. I thought Michaels would help him, but Michaels is so checked out. I would see Herb Street with a legit like a Kevin Burkhardt.
Yeah.
I wonder if that would be a better, something like
Probably.
that. I don't know.
That's a good point.
Am I crazy? I was actually having the thought last week. I love Herb Street. I was thinking.
Love him on the NFL.
I think I just love him. I think he might.
I love him
I'm
too.
not going to say it. I think he's my favorite announcer in all sports.
Why do you guys like him so much? And because remember, I have no college know-how
He's
at all.
way better on college.
I'm sure.
It's like an
his
edge. It's
voice-
very much like Bill Raftery. Well, I shouldn't say that because Raftery does the showmanship, but Raftery knows the game. And coming out of breaks and shit will show you. I always love guys who can show you the game. Herb Street, within 5 seconds, will tell you what's going on with the game. This guy missed this block, this kind of alignment. When he's picking games, he'll tell you that too. Like, hey, their secondary's going to have a lot of trouble. They're looking to take it over the top.
So just really high game
Herb
IQ.
Street just has he's an almanac of football.
Who is your guys' favorite announcer, like for any national sport?
Still Raftery.
It has to be national.
He's not an announcer.
Like
he's
national,
still play-by-play.
like national
technically.
sports announcer.
I can't say Gary Cohen.
Nah.
You know what? I don't know if it's an opinion that people like, but every big call in my entire life was Joe Buck.
I agree with that as
Agreed,
well.
Marty. That's who I was going to say.
Everyone's like, if you think about Super Bowl, you think about the World Series, some golf. Like, he was always Joe Buck, and it was always a great call. And I think some people like turned on him a little bit.
I hate
Oh,
Joe
he got
Buck. He's my least favorite announcer.
He
Yeah.
got so much hate when he
That's-
Got a
started.
big game voice. I like Joe Buck.
It's just
Joe
like,
Buck is my answer.
yeah.
I think Mike Breen is strong still.
Yep.
Like the big
He's a
game
great
guys. I'm not looking to tear down. I hate Romo.
I love Dickie.
I
like
people,
Romo.
I like people that stick to one sport, right? Like I can see when people are like, I'm not a Gus Johnson guy. Okay, you're not a Gus Johnson guy maybe because of football, but I love him for college basketball. That's where I am with Joe Buck. Joe Buck, the baseball announcer, I think he's amazing. Joe Buck, the football announcer, I kind of can't stand.
I think that's my favorite team is the Buck Aikman team right now.
Yeah, and
Right now,
no
Chris.
shade, because I do respect his baseball game, but I just don't like him for football.
Even
And-
if sorry. to cut
No,
you
it's
off,
okay. You
Keith.
go. No.
Let me talk. Even if Joe Buck was calling like a Saturday game in July, I'm thinking that's a big game.
Yeah, it always gave you that feel. I mean, he was 30 years old, right? In his late 20s calling World Series games. It was crazy how young he was when he got his start.
What's Joe Buck's? I guess we're getting way off the rails. What's Joe Buck's best call?
Probably see the thing he did for his father, but I guess that's a ripoff.
Oh,
I thought that was sick. That was my answer.
That's pretty great.
I thought it's easily Minneapolis Miracle.
Oh yeah.
Diggs sideline.
I thought,
touchdown.
the Red Sox one when they played those late games against the Yankees. See you tonight.
Yeah.
After they
we
won.
just talked about that too.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
By the way, Dukes, we got to update the gambling graveyard next week for the spooky overs. One of the worst picks of all time.
Yo, that was the funniest thing of all time. Yeah.
I can't believe
You want to
took
do the lay it out for the people that might not know?
Who gave that out, Bussin?
Well, no. Some random guy gave us a spooky over last night, October. He said this is the spooky over of the year. It's JMU against Marshall. It was 3-2 at one point.
It was 3-2 with a minute left in the third quarter.
In the third quarter, and it got to 20-9, but it was 3-2 in the third quarter. And I said the spooky over. I'll never take a.
What was the line? Do you remember?
It was
49.5.
Oh no.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
Marty, because we were saying like there's like game of the years, game of the months, game of the days, game of the weekends. You really only get like a game of the year and a spooky play of the year once a year.
Yeah, and I saw the spooky play, and Duke said he saw the spooky play. I was like, oh my god, I have to take this. I remember taking. I'm like, I don't know, and I couldn't name one player on this team, not one. And I was like, I'm taking the over because it's spooky.
Ebo?
It was close.
Ebo yesterday gave like a great analysis on why you should probably take the under.
Yeah.
A great analysis, and even he took the spooky play over because he's like that. You got to.
I'm looking.
Brad's here, by the way.
Is he? All right, perfect. We'll load him up. Oh, JMU pulls the win. Yo, was so mad that I wore a Marshall basketball thing on Pick'em
Oh, I know he was.
day before.
He said it
He was
yesterday.
so mad.
said yesterday on the show.
What? Yeah. Before we get to Brad, let me tell you about Omaha Steaks. Fall is in the air, and that means we're looking forward to crisp mornings, fall leaves, and sweater weather. More importantly, it's the perfect time for fall grilling, tailgating, and cozy comfort food. Omaha Steaks has all your fall cravings covered with 50% off site-wide during the semi-annual sale. That's 50% off all your favorite tender, juicy, extra-aged steaks like their Butcher's Chop filet mignons. Go to omahasteaks.com today and use code PICKS at checkout and get an extra $30 off your order. With Omaha Steaks, the possibilities are endless. Endless flavor and endless value on incredible entrees, scrumptious sides, decadent desserts, and more. Omaha Steaks, the world's best beef, naturally aged for the ultimate in tenderness, juiciness, and flavor. Every steak and every entree is flash frozen, vacuum sealed, and ready when you want to grill. All backed by their unconditional 100% money-back guarantee. With 50% off site-wide, it's the perfect time to grab fall grilling favorites, cozy comfort meals, decadent desserts, and so much more. Plus, you'll save an extra $30 off when you use promo code PICKS at checkout, and every purchase is backed by their unconditional money-back guarantee. Simply go to omahasteaks.com and shop the semi-annual sale today. All right, transitioning to college. Welcome in Brad Powers, who has been on a tear, which is very nice of you. Very nice of you, Brad, to get not that you're ever cold, but get to extremely radiant hot when I'm traveling, and I got a couple of times I can't do the show. So that was, I bring you in, a couple of early starts, slow out of the gate, and now you're a full-blown racehorse doing 100 down the turnpike. So nice of you to do that. Should I leave now and keep you on the hot? What am I looking for?
I don't know.
Superstitious. Are you superstitious?
Yeah, I am.
All
I'm
right.
doing a Friday show instead of a Thursday spot. So if I lose this week, I'm gonna blame you, Rico.
Well,
I agree.
join the long list of people online. When I wear their gear, when I bet their teams, you can get right on that
Brad
line.
is one of the most valuable people in my life, and also Brad.
I'd like to remind who was looking to run him out of town after 2 weeks.
Me.
By the way.
Good point, Rico.
I'm the biggest. I will. Brad knows that. He's my
Fair
best
weather,
friend
Marty.
right now.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I was very fair weather. But I do want somebody on the show, Brad. Chris Clemmer over there texted the group chat it was about 8 minutes left in the first quarter.
This isn't fair. This is not fair.
One second. He texted first quarter. He goes, Brad's magic is running out. It was 7-0 in the first quarter.
But what happened? So I'm going to defend myself here. You're being a shithead.
Shut the fuck up.
You're being a shithead.
No, this
I
is
don't.
not.
No, had nothing to do with superstition. I don't really know college football that well. I rely on Brad. I've been telling Brad. Brad's been great for me because he gives me extra money for an NFL Sunday. But I don't know college football. And I fully admitted that. I'm like, I don't know what you guys are like. Oh, no, this game is far from over. I said, all right, great. That's music to my ears. Sure enough, Brad's genius. That bet was done before the fourth quarter was over, I think.
I just want to know.
No, that's not fair.
Yeah,
But I admitted ignorance, though. That's not fair.
In a little bit of he was shitting on him, or he shit on him too early, but he doesn't understand the math. That college, you're never really out of it.
Yeah.
I thought it was over. I wasn't being shitty.
I know
you
it
weren't
used to be.
being shitty.
Imagine how much more fun it was. All you needed to do was get close into the overtimes. Now they've shut down the over. You're going twos in the third overtime.
Yeah.
But yeah, Glennie Bowles thinks you could have an over of 60. If you get to 17 by halftime, you're okay.
Yeah,
So that's the college magic. But we'll jump right into it. I'll go big picture. We've listed out all the playoff contenders and who can actually make the playoff because they're still in the path and things like that. How many teams can realistically win the title? I'm not saying, Ole Miss wins out and they get the breaks in the SEC and get there. Carolina runs the table and they're undefeated, but they're a 14-point dog to Georgia. Because the last 2 years, it was like 2 to 3 teams. Maybe you could say Michigan, but it was really just Georgia and then everybody else. I think the gap is closed. I think we got a lot of players in factor here. How many teams do you think can actually win the national title?
I think you might be surprised by my answer. 12. Where we're going next year as far as the 12-team playoff. I would have never said anything close to that at any point in the last 15 years. In fact, most seasons I would have said 2 or 3. But this year I think it's legitimately 12. I have 12 teams that would be less than a touchdown difference as far as a power rating goes on a neutral, especially with Georgia being brought down a notch without Brock Bowers, at least for the time being. So actually, I have Michigan #1 in my power ratings, but nobody's really cutting shoulders above everybody else right now. So that's a good thing for college football. We've needed this because it's been an extremely top-heavy sport for the better part of the last decade plus.
Go figure. They announced 12, and this would be the year where 12 would be elite television.
You know, next year's gonna be like 4 top.
It's gonna
Yeah,
water back
probably.
down. Who's the team on that list that would shock people the most? Because I think 12 is pretty.
LSU, a team with 2 losses. I think obviously they're going to need a lot of help, but I could see a pathway for this team winning out. They would have an outright win against Alabama on the road, make the SEC championship game. I think they're very live against Georgia. Tough leaving an SEC championship team out. So that would be the biggest shocker. Obviously they'll need help, but yeah, I think they're still in it.
I need to know right now. Penn State, Ohio State.
It's on the list.
I
I
need
love
it
it.
right away.
into it.
I need it right now.
Under for me, it seems obvious, but sometimes that's okay. I question Penn State's ability to push the ball down the field. They're second to last in the country as far as 20-yard plus plays. That's against a ridiculously soft schedule. I mean, you're talking UMass, Delaware, Illinois. I mean, they're facing a really good defense here in Ohio State. That if there's one thing Ohio State's done and shored up this year, it's allowing less explosive plays than what they did, at least down the stretch last year. So I'm also buying Kyle McCord, the quarterback. I know his stats say he's great, but not buying it. So under 45.5 for me. It's not a best bet, but I mean, that's where I don't.
If you had to lean, would you go Penn State? Like, this is not you giving out a pick. I want everyone to, I know you don't really bet on the big games that much, right?
Tony and the Crumbs guy.
Well, yeah, you stole that from War Dogs.
I'll teach you to fish instead of giving you a fish. If you want to bet Penn State, I wait. I think the line's going to go up.
Okay.
It did pretty quick. I saw 3.5. It's already at
4.5.
4.5.
I think it might touch 6.
Ooh.
So
okay.
Wait if you want to bet Penn State.
Love that.
Another kind of big picture one, and then we'll dive into the card. But Dan Lanning's decisions last week against Washington, I thought of the 3, trying to end the game was the one I'm willing to forgive the most, but not taking the points. Where do you stand on a guy who's kind of always pushing the chips in? At least I'll give him this. At least he was consistent being aggressive in those decisions. But would you have taken those points, especially before the half, and then again late in the third quarter?
Well, I will commend him for his consistency because he actually did a lot of this last year as far as being super aggressive. So he is consistent, going for it when most wouldn't. So I'm fine with that. What I do have concerns with is the execution and the play calling in these situations because he's like over. I mean, he lost the Washington and Oregon State games last year because he couldn't make his players couldn't execute. So as far as the game specific last week, I personally, I would have kicked the field goal before the half.
Yep.
Let's just get points before the half. I have absolutely no problem whatsoever to end the game there. Get the first down with your offense. The game's over. Again, execution, play calling wasn't there, but that was absolutely 100% the correct decision to try to end the game and get a first down there. So it didn't work out for him. We'll see. I would say this: if you're looking forward, you can find Oregon 3-1 to win the Pac-12. I like that bet because I would actually favor Oregon over Washington on a neutral field if they had to play right now.
Makes sense. One more off of last week. Ev has had on the college football show, I think, like a hard take or a hot take, which I think might not be that hot. How many losses is USC going to end the season with? Or is USC, you still think they're in that playoff picture?
Oh, no, they're out. They're done.
Okay.
I mean, I like them this week, but, I mean, they still got to play Washington and Oregon. And
he says 9-3. I think he's saying like
9-3 is the right record.
Yeah.
If you had to tell me what's the record going to be, it's going to be 9-3. I could actually, and I would lean under more than over as far as more losses, because I think there's a chance that, Caleb Williams, they get another loss or two somehow, says, let's prepare for the NFL draft. Season's over. Count the bowl game. I think that could be a loss. So it's not looking good right now for the Trojans, but I do like them this week.
Makes sense.
Got
another game?
Yeah, because we talked about it last week because Brad complimented me on my 30-1 Alabama. But with Bowers out and they have Tennessee this week, they're -9. How do you feel about Bama against Tennessee?
I think they'll win. I'm not saying that there's a value pick as far as the side goes. I would bet under in the game. I trust both teams' defenses. But yeah, that Alabama pick I think is holding up all right.
It was a weird game last week where they were like they
Oh.
were stomping on them, and then all of a sudden they just stopped.
I still have concerns. You can't protect Milroe. I mean, it's been 5 straight games allowing 4 or more sacks, and Tennessee's got one of the best pass rushes in the country. So that's a major concern this week. It's a major concern moving forward, but and they show flashes. I mean, it depends on what Alabama team, the team that went up 24-6, or the team almost lost the game outright. The team that, was meandering a little bit in that A&M game and then fully took advantage of A&M's mistakes in the second half. I don't know. They're not consistent enough for me to fully trust them. But again, going back to your 30-1 pick last week, anytime you get Alabama 30-1 and they're going to be favored in all their remaining games.
Though.
That's the thing I was going to say. I agree with it. 30-1, and we got Travi here, who's a big Alabama fan, and the path is very clear for Alabama.
Very clear.
They can win out, but I just don't think they're that good. Like,
No,
but I could see them in the playoff. They're a polarizing type of team. What do you classify it as? Are they that good? Is my question about Alabama.
Oh, I don't think they're that good. In fact, I only got them like 9th in my power rankings. That's as low as any point in the last 15 years. I mean, I can't trust them. You look at a game, they're going to be a considerable favorite in the finale against Auburn. I don't know if I fully trust them. Would it shock me if Auburn, their arch rival, beat them in the finale on the road? No, it wouldn't. So, yeah, they're certainly – are they good compared to the rest of college football? Yeah, they're fine. Are they good compared to recent Alabama editions? No, this is the worst team they've had since Saban's first year.
They haven't, like you just said, they haven't put together that complete game. There's always like, oh, Milroe's fucking slinging right now, and like their defense is all over the place. But then it's like, oh God, I don't think they could beat Auburn. Like there's just some times you're like, what team are you gonna get that day? And that's where I get scared every week. But we'll see, I guess, this week.
They'll be fine this week. They'll beat Tennessee.
Good.
I'll give you one more, and then I'll pick your brain for exact picks. Will Compton, great guy, friend of the program. He is saying that, hey, Nebraska controls their side of the division. God. They can get there. Is that delusional? Like, break it down for my guy Will. We'll cut it to him. We'll send it to him. Does he have a point? Like, you might not agree with it, or what kind of percentage do you put Nebraska winning that side at? Less than 10? Could you see him being spunky and really making everybody sweat? Like, where is Nebraska on that? No chance.
I could say I don't think it's crazy considering. I mean, it's more not necessarily. I think Nebraska's any good. It's just the Big Ten West is putrid. When your leading team, I mean, Iowa's a 14-point per game offense. You're in any game. So yeah, there's a pathway certainly. I'm more probably in that 20% chance at most. But I mean, hell, they beat Iowa last year. So not out of the realm of possibility, but they're not consistent enough. Are you kidding me? I mean, they could lose this week to Northwestern and then, turn around and beat an Iowa type. So no, I don't see it. The one thing Iowa, you got to give them credit for, they are really consistent on the defensive side of the ball, forcing turnovers, doing the little things well as far as special teams. So obviously Iowa to me still the overwhelming favorite on that side.
To be honest,
yeah, they just beat a national contender. They were my preseason pick to win the whole thing in Wisconsin. So
to be fair to Iowa, their offense is pretty consistently bad too.
Yeah, there you go.
How's this guy going to get to 25 points? He's got to score 70 at one point. But that's what's crazy is if they do enough to win, are they going to keep, what's the exact if he doesn't have 25, he's out, right, Ferenc?
Yeah, I mean, that's what the contract says, but are you going to fire him if they win 10 games? Are you kidding me? I mean, yeah, I would. I mean, you're winning games. That's the main point.
As stupid gamblers like myself and you and Clemmer, how do you not take over 30.5? I know you shouldn't, but 30.5 in a full football game is insane. Is that one of the lowest overs in quite some time?
It is the lowest total in college football history as far as an FBS versus FBS.
History?
Game.
Wow.
History. Well, I mean, totals are only, I'm not going back to the 1940s.
Yeah.
I don't have a database for that, but last 20 years, it'd be the lowest total.
That's
FBS versus FBS.
I'll give you this one off of those totals and low totals. Air Force, Navy, Service Academy unders have been a ATM over the last, I think, 10, 15 years? Insane. Yep. Every year you think it's going to be, they can't set it any lower and you're going to take the over. it goes under. They set it at 32, it still goes under. You set it at 30, it still goes under. It's crazy. But Air Force, I liked their over last week against Wyoming. It was a low total. They're sneaky. Maybe I was a year early on them because I loved them last year. I think they were a 9-win or 8-win team last year. Still really good. This Air Force team pumps out points. Is this total too low?
It's certainly that it's priced in. That trend of the Service Academy games going under is overwhelmingly priced in. In fact, I would lean over because keep in mind, you were right on this, Rico. I know you took your lumps on the Notre Dame Navy game. I did too. I mean, these Service Academy teams are throwing the football more this year. That's just the reality of the situation. What does concern me this week is Air Force is on a backup quarterback, and Navy might be down to a third-string quarterback. So I'm not wild about the over, but my numbers say that would be the correct side. I'll take Navy plus 10.
I didn't know I didn't know Air Force was on a backup, but they got guys who can bust big runs. Yep. Yeah, I like that over. All right, outright. Dave has been big on a parlay of 3 outright underdogs. So give us your favorite, or if he was looking to build a card that can get really spicy, like he's putting 5 to win $500,000. These three parlays he's got very, very close. I think he had a lead with Arkansas as a last leg against Ole Miss a couple of weeks ago. He's been right there with a few. So what would be the 3 outright underdogs that you were looking at either round robin or parlay?
All right, I'll give you right around a touchdown 3 of them. Kent State over Buffalo. I know they're terrible, but Buffalo should not be laying a touchdown on the road. UAB over Memphis. I don't buy Memphis. And Dilfer's team has been competitive. They haven't had that breakthrough yet. They could this week. So
I
UAB,
like Memphis. So.
Well, sorry.
Well, we know how that goes. Us going Oklahoma drill. I'm laying on my back all year, Brad. So I'm not. I'm just telling the people.
What do you like about Memphis, man? Their coaching staff is abysmal, man.
Yeah, I didn't. I know Dilfer's been competing, but I've watched them kind of get knocked around too. I don't know. Maybe it's just the Memphis bias.
I know why you're doing it because you had. Oh, sorry. You had. What's the
Tulane.
Team? Tulane against UAB, and now
a little
it's in
bit
your
of
head for the rest of the year. Yeah,
a little bit of chasing the tail.
And you think that they should have covered that game.
It's a little bit of chasing the tail. I agree. And
covered? Are you kidding me? UAB could have won that game outright. It's a 3-touchdown underdog.
Yeah, but Brad, what you didn't take into consideration is the should-be score.
Yeah, the should-be score. When you turn the ball over in the goal line, that's a should-be score. When they get a bad bounce, I was tweeting that for the Louisville Georgia Tech game from the beginning of the year. You got to factor in the should-be score.
He watches a different game than us. I'm telling you, like the way he.
It was UAB that fumbled into the end zone.
No,
what are you watching?
No. Tulane had a key turnover late for sure. They definitely had a turnover late.
They had a chance.
What are you talking? Tulane scored. Go rewatch that game. Tulane hit a touchdown pass late in the game.
Rico, they had a chance.
They definitely had a turnover. This guy.
They did have a turnover.
What game are you? You're thinking of another game.
No, I'm not.
I watched the game.
Pull it up right now.
Artie, do you wish you watched your version of football or Rico's version? This version's more fun.
This is his last. This is his last appearance anyway. Get his third. Get his third pick.
Third pick. No one's gonna like this. South Carolina over Missouri. South Carolina's hard luck team. Played the toughest schedule in the country so far. Everyone loves Missouri. Nah, plus 7.5 and outright. South Carolina.
I'm a South Carolina guy. I've been waiting for Rattler way better this year than last year. But he just sometimes that team pisses me off. South Carolina was it against Tennessee? I thought he was going to have his game, and then
South Carolina. Didn't. Okay. Tulane in that game fumbles lost 2. So
okay, but I'm telling you, UAB fumbled at the goal line, and Tulane scored a touchdown with 30 seconds left. Go look at it. It was down the sideline, left corner.
Brad,
Jackson, number 4.
Here's the thing. In the should-be score for Bosco, he doesn't take into consideration what happened with the other team. It's just for the team that he bet.
Just my bad breaks. That's how it's
I'm telling you, Bosco, you're getting cut-ups from that game the rest of the day.
All right, fine. Tulane passed up some scoring abilities. You're right. The fumble was UAB. I'll give you that. But Tulane definitely was going in or putting drives together, and they screwed some stuff up too. So and got out to a bad start and spotted them 20, or was down big. 20.
And you're thinking they should have won a 3-touchdown favorite.
Yeah, get off the bus.
20.
Get off the bus.
You're telling me that Tulane's the right side.
Get off the bus.
Tulane. I was with you, man. We never had a shot.
It's good to live life positively. You know what I mean? All right. So then the rest of the card in terms of best bets. What else you got?
You know what? Best bet for me, we're going right back to this total in these Florida Atlantic games. We're going over 58, UTSA, Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic got the offense going again. They are stepping down in competition as far as opponents' defenses. UTSA's scoring on the season's a little bit jumbled because Frank Harris didn't play a couple games since he came back, 40 plus each of the last 2 weeks. Let's go over. I think we got a rocking chair winner here, over 58.
And that's your pick of the week, Brad?
Pick of the week.
That's my best bet of the week.
Yeah,
Florida
FAU put
Atlantic,
up like
UTSA over
50
58.
like last week, right? Yeah, and FAU is on a backup. The Thompson kid is done for the year, right?
He's out for the year. They got Richardson from Central Michigan. He's got experience. He threw for almost 400 yards last week. They'll be fine.
Is he the little fat kid?
Yeah, he's a little fat kid. Yep, number 10.
That's him?
He went from. I didn't know about that. We loved him in the
Yeah,
MAC.
he was amazing.
Oh, no wonder they're scoring. I'm back in on it. I crossed FAU off when they didn't cover me and Casey Thompson got hurt. FAU,
Yeah,
I didn't
he's
know they had the
quarterback.
little fat kid. Yeah, he's a stud.
He really is.
You got to go to therapy over these teams. These teams haunt you. The
They
rest
do.
Of the year.
They
Week
rest.
one.
Well, yeah, I crossed them off. They haunt me. Speaking of backup quarterbacks, I'll end on this. What's going on with K-State in the fact that, last year you watched Adrian Martinez was the guy. He gets hurt. Will Howard comes in. You got to ride him. You think Will Howard's going to be the guy? I had high aspirations for K-State again this year. They're still kind of in the Big 12 if they can pop off Texas and make a run at that. But now you got the kid Avery Johnson who's going bullet. You could see it from week one, with Avery Johnson. 5 rushing touchdowns last week. Is K-State going to move to this kid as the starter moving forward? And what does that say in terms of recruiting or big picture stuff with Kleiman where guys aren't there that long, or you can get your job taken from you that quick? Does that bode well for him?
I think it's fine. Avery Johnson's the highest rated recruit in the history of Kansas State football at the quarterback position. So you just play the more talented kid. I think Will Howard's a fine kid, but Avery Johnson just gives you that extra oomph, especially in the quarterback run game. So I'm fine with what they're doing. We'll just see if teams start figuring it out. I mean, Texas Tech didn't have game film on that specifically. They were allowing Kansas State for the quarterback run. I'm not sure that they adjusted accordingly. We'll see if TCU, I haven't been, fond of what Sonny Dykes has done in game this year. So that's a sneaky over because I actually like the backup for TCU too. I think he was an upgrade over what Chandler Morris was doing this year. So that's a sneaky over pick.
All right, K-State, TCU. All right. Go ahead, Marty.
Last one, because Duke FSU. So is Riley Leonard out?
Yeah, he's out. Market telling you that. So the other day, Elko comes in. Oh, there's a good chance that Riley Leonard's going to play. The line goes down to 13.5, and then within an hour, 14.5, Florida State. So I think Florida State's the play there.
Duke last week we were saying their quarterback had 4 completions, and that was it. 4 completions. I don't think you could do that against Florida State, and I think you just have to take them there. It sucks he's out because that would have been an amazing game, I think.
I honestly wish he was in because the line would come down and he's less than 100%. I like the Knowles quite a bit. I mean, Mike Elko's never lost a game by double digits at Duke. He will on Saturday night.
Oh, my God. Really?
Is he one of the best coaches in football, in college football?
He is, and you're going to find out because I think he's going to be like the next Texas A&M head coach.
You think so?
I think he goes back. Somebody's going to give him a big job. You have to. The guy, I think he is one of the top 5 coaches in college football right
That's
now.
crazy, though. Yeah, I mean, Duke, granted, he's doing well, but the SEC is the SEC. And the SEC next year is the SEC on steroids with Oklahoma and Texas.
Dude, what is doing?
It's Duke. He won immediately. He didn't use the transfer portal. He just won.
Oh,
with
I'm not.
players that he
I think he's great. But that leap is a big leap. That's all.
He's been a defensive coordinator at Notre Dame. They improved immediately. He was a defensive coordinator for several years at A&M. The guy, he's fine, man.
I don't think anyone. When's the last time you're respected Duke as a football program?
Never. They've been
Really? 2012, I thought they were
Yeah,
good.
but no, before.
Yeah,
in the,
Cutcliffe had a couple good years.
go look back to the 80s and 90s. They were 1-11 every year. They were horrific.
I'm not going to read a sports almanac.
All
I
right.
believe you.
Go ahead, Duke. You got one last one on this?
Yeah, one last zinger.
Sure.
Brad, I'm looking at 3 games right now. I like the UCF game, but I'm waiting for Reese Plumlee to come back. Do you think that he's healthy
He's got to
enough?
play. Yeah,
He's going to
he'll
play?
I like that over.
Yep.
I guess the other 2 I'm looking at, LSU minus 32.5 against Army. I just don't know if Army could keep up with
I fucking
them.
love 30.
Do you like that, or where do you stand on that game?
I bet it, but you were late to the party. The line's moved to touchdown
I
already.
know.
So all the money one way.
But this is the type of game where you can take the minus 40. I think it's legitimately going to be 63 to 14. And then the last game I was looking at was USC minus 7 against Utah.
Love
Bounce
USC.
back.
That would be my second best bet on the show. The total's my favorite bet. Favorite side would be USC minus 7.
All right, I'm gonna best bet. That's mine.
Well, you like
All right.
the over there too?
I don't as much. I mean, I actually kind of USC's defense looked okay last week. I don't think Utah can, do anything offensively, honestly. They're just going to have to try to ground it right at USC. Utah's passing attack is one of the worst in college football. That's mainly why I like USC.
Yeah, but doesn't USC struggle with the tough teams like that? And Utah's
They
defense?
do. Yeah, it's a concern. That's why it's only 7,
Yeah.
Rigo, not like 15. So, it's certainly a concern, but they only lost by a point. For as much as they struggle, they almost beat Utah on the road last year. They covered. They lost by a point.
This is a question from the chat, Brad. What do you think about everything going on at Michigan right now? With
Doesn't it impact? Yeah, if anything, I think it motivates Michigan to just want to beat the crap out of. Especially this week against little brother. With that being said, I bet Michigan State, but I don't think it impacts Michigan that much.
Yeah, Harbaugh's a grudge guy, so I respect that.
I think it motivates him too.
Perfect. But, yeah, that's good, man. A lot to unpack there. 12 teams still alive to win the title. 3-team money parlay going opposite of me. I think you're a fan favorite coming out of this one. So
Well, no, it's hopefully I am. It's according to you, my last appearance. So,
nah, come on. You know
had
how
to go
that
out with a
works.
bang, bud.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, put it there. If you want to get people to turn on me, if you lit it up and they were like you, and I really held that grudge, they would. They'd run me out of town like you wouldn't believe. But no, back next week, Brad, as always.
Thursday.
Yes. So we're looking forward to it. Enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brad.
Hey, guys.
Brad.
Guy does like 92 radio hits. We moved him around. So credit that with that. Yeah. But,
What? Oh, you moved him?
well, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
You were out late a little bit
Yeah.
yesterday. Like
it would have been a crazy.
No, I think it was-
we just got a full half hour with him. Like that's.
No, I had no problem. You moved
great.
him. I was just asking.
All right, let's go.
I gotta eat some crow about the baseball.
Yeah, Dukes, load them up for the NFL.
What's up?
College as well. The calls.
I was,
Load them
I
up
was
on the back
very
end.
wrong about Brandon Fott. Like he
Yeah.
was sensational.
He was a high prospect. He threw well.
Yeah.
The thing I will worry about is that Philly couldn't get anything going. The D-backs barely won.
Yeah.
And now it's 2-1, and Philly still kind of has a stranglehold on this series.
So here's how Smitty and I are in the lockstep. We were texting a little before. So Smitty and I both are very high in the Phillies today. It's a bullpen game, kind of for both teams to some extent. Phillies gonna go with Chris Sanchez to
Our
start.
guy Mantley starting for.
Yeah, Mantle start, and I actually don't mind that. But the problem is the next guy to come out of the pen, I think, is going to be Slade Ciccone. He's an ERA over 6 in AAA. He's just not. Fott was always
Clemmer, can you say that name again?
Slade. Am I pronouncing it right? Slade Ciccone.
That just does not sound like a real person.
It is. I know. It is.
Not the guy you want on the bump for a playoff game.
No,
I
he's
agree with
four
Phil.
starts in his major league career. Fought like Rico, you're absolutely right. Was always a top 30 prospect. This is not the case with Ciccone. This is a different.
And he pitched well in the last round when you kept saying they were dead in the water against the Brewers.
Very well. Oh no, he pitched badly against the Brewers. Pitched really well against the Dodgers.
Right.
And then pitched
Right.
Then, not only did he pitch well yesterday, if you watch it, it was like no hitter stuff. 9 strikeouts, no walks, awesome job. But Rico, you're absolutely right. The Phillies do have a stranglehold. There is one thing the Diamondbacks have an ace up their sleeve, though. Literally, Zach Gallen, Game 5 at home. So if the Diamondbacks can win tonight, I don't think they will. I put money on the Phillies, and they can get to Gallen
At home.
Now it's 3-2 going back to Philadelphia.
So I had a conversation with my brother today about that. What do you think about the 2-3-2 format
It's all I've known
in these series? I hate it.
There used to be one.
So the way I look at it, the swing game. All right, if you have home field, which the Phillies do, the biggest swing game or swing games of the series are obviously one, which goes to the home team. It goes without fact. And the other swing game that a team's supposed to get is 3 because they get the home field back. But then from there, the biggest swing game of the 3 is 5.
Yeah.
We're giving it to the Diamondbacks. And it's like one of those things, I guess, it's good for us. We get 3 games in a row.
Right.
You know, we don't have to wait in between with those days off or dead days. That sucks. You want baseball. But, what? Now we're worried about travel? They've been traveling the
Not
country.
travel.
I
think it's more. I think
it's to preserve travel. But, all right, if it's not to preserve travel, then I have even more of a problem with it because, again, you're giving the swing game. I said the same thing in the NBA Finals. You're giving the swing game to the team that didn't earn it.
But how late can the season go? I mean, as it
don't
stands,
care.
I know, but if you're let's say there's a game at Fenway. Now we're talking about instead of November 4th, we're talking November 8th, 9th. There's snow on the ground and shit. Like
So
it gets
start
cold.
baseball a little bit earlier.
Already starting in March. There's
yeah,
snow there too.
I don't know, but I just don't like the swing game, and I'm a D-backs guy, and I'm a Phillies hater.
Yeah.
I don't like the game going to the D-backs. I don't think that's fair.
It has been 2-3-2 forever. So I mean, there is something to be said about that tradition, and it's the one thing that the networks haven't bastardized yet.
Right.
So I like the tradition of it. I was also very wrong about the Rangers-Astros. I thought that the Rangers were going to win one of those two games. They lost both. Those Astros bats have woken up. I will say, and I'll stand by this, I think the Rangers will win this series. The problem is, though, the margin for error is gone. But I do believe in Jordan Montgomery. I do believe in Nathan Eovaldi. But if we come back here on Monday and we're talking about a Game 7, I'm fucked.
One minute.
Fucked.
Let Dukes go.
Do you want to tell the people what we talked about?
I'm all on board. Go ahead.
So
you presented
me and Clemmer agreed. We were like, shit, we never did that, like, waxing the leg bet.
Right.
With Joey Camasta, like, waxing his leg because the Patriots did beat the Jets somehow.
Yes, they did.
So now me and Clemmer agreed to, yesterday, double or nothing, 2 legs. If the Astros win the series, he has to wax
both legs
entirely.
Right. And if the Rangers win, then I'm off the hook.
Yes.
Yeah, we agreed to that before the game yesterday.
Right.
But we're all on. I'm all on board. Yeah, I'm not backing out. I'm not welching. No way, Dukes. I still think the Rangers win, but oh man, if they lose one of these 2 games, that Game 7, the Rangers have to put Max Scherzer on the hill. Fuck.
Can we agree to Houston Astros are a team of playoff pedigree that you
No.
just never
Yeah.
count out?
You almost
No,
have
okay.
to, though.
If you say the pedigree, then what about Brandon Pfaadt's performance yesterday?
But we're not talking about they have no pedigree. We're not talking anything about that. The Astros are a team that have been in the playoffs with the same core for quite some time now, and they have pedigree.
Other teams down 2-0 would fucking fold like a cheap soup.
The Diamondbacks didn't.
Well, it's 2-1.
But the Astros certainly
It's 2-1
won't,
now.
because the Astros
Saying
have
if it's
been
3,
through
if
this.
they go,
But it was
if
2-0 and they
I
didn't
mean-
fold, and they don't have no
Clemmer,
pedigree.
down 2-0 on the road. That's
Yeah,
That's insane.
That's
The
what
Astros
most-
have always been, and you guys made a great point. The chat made a great point yesterday. The Astros have always been a great road team all year. So that's not outside of their game. That's who they are. For whatever reason, they're worse home. I don't understand that at all. But
Because they have.
Did you see that quote by Big Papi? They showed, like, the Astros road record, and Jeter was saying, like, there's always that one ballpark
Yes.
you hit well at.
Yeah.
Like, mine was the Angels, and Big Papi goes, want to guess mine?
Yeah, that was good. He also had another one. He's like, "Hey, we blew a 3-0 lead." He's like, "You did?" I was like,
Yeah, you
Yeah,
see the
that's
video
great.
where he's, like, talking about he got cologne in his eye?
Yeah, it was also interesting to see that setup that Jeter was sitting to the right of A-Rod, symbolic of when Jeter wouldn't move in his spot on the right of the infield.
I like that.
So
Little
Why would he
things.
move for a bum?
the guy was, I'm not doing this.
All right, Marty.
He was the best player on the planet at that time.
No, I think
He's
it's
better defensively at the time.
No,
What are we
but-
doing here?
Yeah, but Rico's an asshole and says
100%.
that Derek Jeter is overrated.
Speaking of bumps, any word out of Rhode Island?
No, shut the fuck up. Please stop being a fucking asshole on my program.
That was the worst video of all. We'll talk about that. That was the worst.
He was
video of all time.
recruiting.
Yeah, I know. You had a funny bit about it.
No,
Do you
your
want to talk
bit
about it all?
was fantastic.
He
I
was
think it
recruiting.
a
It's not a
good-
bit. What if that guy has a 3-star son? He's a rising 10th grader.
He said, "Do you
Anyone, let me
think-
tell you something.
do you
Anyone
think
can
I
find,
shoot hoops?"
anyone can read the ESPN Top 100 and send a recruiting letter to Cooper Flagg. My guy is working police departments. He's working relationships.
He
Like
wanted to tell
recruiting
that-
doesn't sleep. He knows he's
wanted
gonna be
to
back.
tell that police officer so bad that he was the coach.
I think it was a giveaway when he's wearing. But
That was-
listen,
We all knew.
recruiting doesn't sleep. Networking doesn't sleep.
Your other comment was very true as well. Why blur his face out? We all know.
Wild.
We
to
all know
release
it's
the
him.
name makes
Yeah,
no
like,
sense.
We know it's him, but that was a very weird video ever. Very weird.
He's recruiting.
I wish though that turned into the cop and him just shooting hoops.
Same. Like,
Imagine the
whole
cop
thing-
just a wet jumper.
I think it shows your growth, Rico, too. The fact that you were like not spin it because it's recruiting season. It's recruiting.
It's recruiting season.
Yeah.
They're in season.
He
He's
It's a lot easier to.
Jared
spin that
Grasso
one than-
does not sleep. Fact.
Neither do I.
If that was clip was a 1980s sitcom, that coach and that cop are playing horse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there was no. There was no one hurt, right?
No, luckily. Yeah, I mean, you know.
So that's why it's a
There we
lot
go.
easier to
Joke about it.
joke about than when there's murder.
That's good,
involved.
Rico. There you go.
He's recruiting.
It's helping, right? One of your guys isn't,
You nervous?
no one's hurt.
You nervous?
You nervous?
You-
And when I'm nervous and I got to leave the house, I go shoot hoops.
It's a good release.
When he's okay, well, but last thing about it, when he also says when he said, does it look like I play ball?
That's what I'm saying. It's like you're the coach.
Yeah. Does it look like I play basketball?
He was gonna walk for 4 or 5
Honestly,
miles too.
You know what? Honestly, no, it doesn't look like you play basketball.
Yeah, it was like Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite,
Yeah.
like washed up.
Yeah, it was wild. One last thing about the Diamondbacks series. I think if you're a baseball fan from 100 feet up, this can get really interesting in that Phillies 2-0, Diamondbacks steal one tonight. I think you should be rooting for that if you have no horse in the race. Gallen goes in a monster game 5.
At home when he's been
Right?
dominant.
Against who would be their guy? I'm
It
blank.
would be Wheeler.
It would be Wheeler. So another dominant, 2 aces technically going at each other.
Yes, not technically.
Gallen steals it.
Yeah.
And then what lines up for game 6 with, Philly with their back up against the wall? Who would be going back to Philly for game
Aranola versus
Aaronola.
more so the second guy? Merrill Kelly with his comments back in Philly. That place
awesome.
will be lit. It will be what, an 8 o'clock game? At 11 a.m., they will be drinking Yingling and cursing and throwing batteries. That place will be lit on fire.
I weirdly do think though that yesterday the Phillies were a little sluggish because they played at 2 o'clock.
Travel makes sense. Yeah,
That's
circadian
basically the
rhythm
time they played, right?
makes sense. Yeah.
2 o'clock
no.
local.
What? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it
2
makes
o'clock
sense.
there
Oh, I
after
see. Yeah.
that's a weird time to play
Very
like a
weird time.
playoff game.
Yeah.
It's also the playoffs. You can't
Also,
make it-
you were
everyone's playing.
you
a
were
weird
also
time.
wrong about Andrew Heaney. He sucks.
Okay.
He got smoked in the
He did.
first.
No, he absolutely did. Dane Dunning was a little better. And then the bullpen got exposed pretty early. No, Heaney would. I did not expect him to give up 3 runs in 2/3 innings.
Clemmer, the Texas Rangers bullpen got exposed.
Well,
They blew the most saves ever.
I know, but they also calm down, Phil. Relax. I'm agreeing with you. He's shaking his hand and throwing his head. He's shaking his head and throwing his hands. I'm agreeing with you. Trolls don't like it when you agree with them. No, but they also use like Martin Perez. Like they didn't use the traditional relievers yesterday. Would you agree with that, Phil? Can I at least
When
get-
the game was already out of hand, yeah.
Okay. Can I at least get that? Were you at the dinner, Senator? Were you at the dinner?
What?
It's a casino reference.
Casino line. At least give me that. At
least give me that. Yeah, yeah. Have you ever seen Casino, Phil?
No, I actually have not.
It's very.
I
I
would
think
put-
you'd like it. It's very good.
I would put the over under at Meek watching movies at like 15, like Toy Story.
I think Casino's one he'd like.
Yeah,
It might be
Casino's a little
exactly
low.
I don't think
You've
he
never
has-
seen Pesci in the Woods in the end of that?
I don't watch movies.
Oh my
like this, you guys don't know Meek. He
I do.
Yeah, like this all makes so much sense.
Oh, I know. I mean,
I did that line for Rico. Wasn't for
watching sports or trolling. It's really either
Yeah.
one.
OnlyFans sports.
All right. Let's. This is a PG program, dude.
It's the only PG program you watch, Phil.
Go back to your point on Heaney.
That's he stunk. That's why.
The Astros.
I was wrong.
I think it's very cute of you to think that the Rangers have a chance. They have no chance.
No, oh come on. They have,
really don't.
Oh, that's no.
Dude, it's just not.
You don't
it's
believe in
just
Jordan
what-
Montgomery
I
or
think
any Evaldi?
the second time facing him, I think that they're going to.
They're facing the Astros guys too for the second time. They're facing.
Oh, I know. It's just that their lineup's way better than.
Framber Valdez is a liability.
Yeah, what is Verlander today?
Yes.
Yeah, Verlander's today.
This is the game I'm more scared about than the next game, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, 3-2 up. No matter what, it's just. I don't know. I just don't see.
So I'm betting. So who are you on? And I'm on the Rangers money line tonight, and I'm on the Phillies money line.
I'm on the Astros and the Phillies.
Okay.
I think the Phillies. I think the Phillies aren't going to be that sleepy again.
Nah,
don't
yeah.
disagree.
I just want the D-backs to extend the series.
I'm just excited we get Gallen at home no matter what.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
I didn't want to sweep.
That could be. I also think it's cool for Gallen. I mean, obviously he came in here, seems like a great guy. Rico and I both huge fans of him, like as a pitcher. Him getting a chance, national spotlight at home when he's at his best. I'm excited for that.
And no matter what, getting a 3. Like I want a 3-2 at Philly no matter what. I really do.
Yeah, but I think it's more fun if they're down.
Either one. I don't care which one. I
Yeah.
want Merrill Kelly going there.
I want to see this
What you
series
just said.
extended.
I want that
Yeah.
no matter
I
what.
want- it's more baseball. It's great for baseball,
Yeah,
right?
Agreed.
You want a stat?
Yeah.
The last time the Diamondbacks hit a walk-off in the postseason, they won the World
They
Series.
did 2001. Luis Gonzalez. And who's that against, Marty? I forgot.
As a lifelong
You
Diamondbacks
know, that's
fan, Rico.
I cried. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, I'm sure.
2001, I cried. That
How old
stupid.
were you?
I couldn't
fucking
believe it.
stance. I was 7.
I would have cried too.
I cried. I remember I was on the floor crying. It was one of that fucking hit will always be stuck. That little fucking over the
Right out
over
over
the second
front. Yeah.
I almost cried. I was so happy.
Let's
Dorm room.
You don't see Mariano Rivera fucking
No.
do that much.
let's hit these 3 calls, and we'll go into. Ev kind of did NFL lines. I just want to go bets to really kind of close it out as well. I got 2 again. I've been cutting down the NFL card. I got 2 that I really, really like. Let's go with Bo. He's got a college football pick.
What's up, guys? Don't love the board like in previous weeks, but I think there's one really good play. I like Texas minus 13.5 first half in Houston. The line for the game jumped from 22 to now 23.5. You know, as people know, you know, Texas still live off a bye. I think Sark has them coming out hard. Houston's really bad. They can't stop anything. They had an absurd win last weekend, you know, on last Thursday night with that Hail Mary. You know, I think Texas just comes out of the gates just storming and scoring points and makes a statement, you know, as they keep that playoff push alive.
Texas more so off of a bye, but also off of a loss as well.
Yeah, true.
And no look ahead, like BYU next week at home. The championship is now fully week to week to week to week here with Texas, who is still in it. I agree with you. 13.5 in the first half makes sense to me. Houston off of a big win. They're riding high. Houston won that one, no? On the Hail Mary?
Yeah, on that Hail Mary.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, makes sense. 2 teams, one coming off a big win, another coming off of a loss with a vengeance. Makes sense. I like Texas first half on that. It's a good one. Thanks, Bo.
Hey, Dukes.
Yes.
Are we going to let Elmo come back for the most thankful pick ever in Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I saw that come across my timeline.
Well, I don't know if we're allowing him back for the most thankful over of the year, but maybe we'll let him one more.
One more, and then I need all his picks to fade.
Yeah.
Matt.
What's up, boys? Gas 'em up Friday. I'm not actually watching right now because I'm in the car driving, but Marty, love the hat. Rico, love the sweatshirt. Clemmer, looking real thin today. Dukes, love you as always. Meek, try not to move around too much. Just want to talk about
You got
the
a
2
mid-move,
games
too.
tonight. Of course I did. Just want to talk about the 2 games tonight. Why should we not bet on the Astros, and cannot Clemmer answer?
Exactly.
I'll let you guys talk. Thank you.
I think that Verlander, he pitched well the first game. He let up 2 runs. Two runs, 5 innings.
He's been very good this postseason.
Montgomery was great. I've seen Montgomery pitch a lot. He is a little streaky. He's usually not that dominant. And the Astros are fucking smashing the ball right now. They're smashing the ball, and I know
Verlander going tonight?
Yeah.
Remind me again, because I said it last year. I said Verlander needed a statement to save his World Series reputation. But was that just his World Series, or overall as a postseason? What are his stats?
I'm pretty sure it was World Series.
It was just World Series.
Just
right?
World Series, but
Thought
his
so.
yeah,
Okay, I
but
thought-
his
there's no
playoff
way a
stats
guy
are
like
not,
we would have heard more about that. That would have been like Kershaw.
Yeah.
I
I was
just
gonna
was
say,
making sure, but he
you
was.
know,
It's crazy. He was bad in the World Series, which he was.
I mean, his
to that
career
point.
ERA is 3.51 in the playoffs. It's 5.63 in the World Series.
Yeah, he was bad. He's bad. He's bad in the World Series.
Honestly, he was bailed out a lot by Kershaw. If Kershaw was never born, we're talking a lot more about Verlander
Right.
not being that great in the postseason. But you're right, it is a World Series.
I have one question about the Rangers. I think they are absolutely insane to throw any pitch in the zone to Alvarez. That man is smashing the
Terrifying.
ball. He is a human. The man isn't human. The way he's hitting, he's batting .420 in the playoffs. Why throw anywhere near him? If you don't have to, put him on base.
I agree with
That's
that
what
as
they
well.
were doing to Judge at the end of the year.
Sets up for double
when he was
plays.
doing
He's
that-
not going to steal.
Dude, yeah, he's a liability on the base. Like, he's not like anything.
Not a
like,
fluke. I mean, he has a 5.83 slugging last year. I mean, like
oh, it's not a fluke at all. He's
he's
fucking.
He's an animal.
terrifying.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
is
their
a
lineup-
yeah. He might be the scariest batter, other than Judge and Ohtani, maybe in baseball.
First and second, 2 outs, walk him. I don't. I'm not even kidding. Walk him.
I don't know about that, but
Load him up.
Well, wait, Marty, this was last night.
you killed Rico.
He's saying load the fucking bases.
Load him up. He's that good.
Marty, this was last night, 3-3, 1 out. It ended in a sack fly, but would you have walked him in that spot?
Honestly, he's getting to the point where that's close. Because at the end of I wouldn't walk him in that 3-3 fourth. What was it, fourth inning? I think.
Yeah.
But at the end, he hit a home run at the end too.
No, it was Abreu to hit the
Yeah,
upper tank
Abreu.
shot, which made it all moot.
He singled. So no. I thought he singled he might have singled at the end for RBI. He had an RBI at the end.
Where you had the backbreaker.
This is just a closing remark from yesterday. I thought it was a good question for Clemmer. I just saw it in the DMs. Wanted to say it. Would you rather have back like 10 years ago? Would you rather have Bumgarner or Kershaw?
Yeah, someone DM me this too.
Do you think that was going to be an insult?
No, I don't care.
Oh, I thought you
did. Did you think it was going to be one?
The way he was looking at you, he was ready to fire back.
Just in the playoffs?
No, I guess the basis of the argument was, and like we've said it all week, so I really want to spend legitimately like a minute on this. Is does playoff pedigree matter? And he said that he'd rather have someone like Kershaw, who's pure talent, betting over someone like a Bumgarner who has playoff pedigree.
Right. Well,
so in this scenario, what would you pick?
Look, we're talking about two very good pitchers. Even Bumgarner was a great postseason pitcher, was still very good the regular season.
Yes.
So it's not like that crazy that Bumgarner was awesome, but just like John Smoltz was a better postseason pitcher than Greg Maddux. Well, both are awesome. So when the playoffs start, I'd rather have Bumgarner. Just because I've seen him do it. Kershaw, I'd rather have. But if I could only sign one free agent, I'm taking Kershaw because that talent is so amazing.
I think it's one of those things you already know the answer.
No wrong.
You already know the answers to the test, so it's kind of hard. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're looking back. I'm not faulting you for what you're saying.
History.
I'm not faulting you for what you're saying, but
I guess the way there was back then is like after the first World Series, the way the question was framed, at least from like after the first World Series.
Oh, Kershaw.
Okay.
Because I don't know the future yet.
Right.
Right. So I think that
I would have been wrong.
Yeah. So people were saying, where did you stand on the debate 10 years ago?
Oh, Kershaw. No,
I've
always been on this. I've always
could have been like, that was nice what Bumgarner did, but you didn't know Bumgarner was going to turn into a literal fucking maniac.
The greatest postseason pitcher ever.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
No.
What?
He doesn't have. He didn't pitch long enough.
Damn, that's disappointing.
And his numbers probably don't hit threshold.
Wasn't
it's
he on the Diamondbacks this year?
Yeah.
What?
This year. He got released in April.
Yeah, he was. No, because he was on them last year. I remember that.
The last, so a player said about Bumgarner back in April, it was like hitting versus a position player. That's how bad his stuff was.
Yeah. And the fact that no one picked him up, he got released in April, no one even sniffed at him, tells you something.
That's, for the casual baseball community, that's very sad.
Sad to see.
I gotta say one thing, football related. The Monster Money Line Parlay is back. It's 1-3 this year. We're going to turn around Buffalo, the Seahawks, and the Chiefs, plus 120.
It's the most obvious three.
It's so bad.
I'll take all three money lines. I have to hit one to win it. Now I'll be rooting against the Chiefs because of you.
Why? No, you should get on board. Maybe you're the help we need.
Fair enough.
Let
me take Joey, and then we're going to do NFL picks to close it out. I got two that I like a lot. Joey, what do you got?
Hey, what up, Rico? You got me?
Yep.
Let's get a little gas them up Friday, freshwater style. Start behind the glass. Doogsy. Man, I hated you at first because all your questions, but I've come around big time. You're really hitting your stride, and keep it up behind the glass. Meek Phil, really don't know shit about you, but I hate the Yankees, so let's rally around that. Rico, you're doing a hell of a job hosting the show after that scab B-Walk left. Healthy debate's going great. The numbies are there. Keep that up. Mush. I've been Team Marty Rhea from the beginning. Congrats on the engagement. Psyched for Roundball Pod in Dickinson. Let's get that going soon. Clemmer, man, I dug your sports movie pod. It was solid. Don't let them hate on the square picks. Square picks are winning this year. Make sure they know that. And I know I'm like you, stoked about Killers of the Flower Moon. I think it's going to be a classic.
Seen it tonight, my friend. So excited.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm going tonight.
Did you see the review yesterday of Stephen Che?
Makes me like it more.
I think that
you didn't like Oppenheimer.
I think it's going to be even more classic because of what that idiot Stephen Che said. He's a fucking moron. So here's the lock. Rutgers, Indiana, under 40.5. I think it might have dropped a point. I love it at 39. I even love it at 38. Lock that shit in. Thanks for taking my call. Freshwater out.
Yeah. Where is that game? Because that's a lock of Big Ten.
I think it's at Indiana.
Big Ten bad weather.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, it's only on Big Ten Network if I had to guess. Yeah.
No, that's a great under.
Yeah, 100%. That's the girl Big Cat makes the joke all the time, Beth Mowens. the Beth Mowins punt. He wanted to put a prop on the games. Beth
Oh,
Mowins
yeah,
does
yeah,
the punt.
yeah.
I watched her speak at a graduation last year. I was amped. I was like, she's great. All right, NFL. You got the money line parlay.
I also have Lions +3, Green Bay, Denver under 45.
Oh, that's perfect.
Okay.
I love the Ravens.
Lions
Really
pointing to
do.
the Ravens.
I love.
Why is
the
that perfect?
Ravens.
I'm beating you this year. You should be nervous.
No, I'm saying it's perfect. You're not beating. You're barely beating me.
No, I'm beating you for the NFL this
Probably
year.
barely.
No, I had you by a little bit. You should be scared. You should be trembling.
I've
No.
cut down my NFL card massively. I'm still around 500, but the touchdowns on Healthy Debate have been helping me at any times. So, but then I go into the Monday game and we take our parlay. Fucking disaster. The two I like a lot. Giants, Washington. I'm going under 37.5. Dable, fucking desperate, still fighting. I think he comes off of that with the defense keyed in. You got a rookie quarterback on the road. It's still Howell going for them, no?
Yeah.
Okay. On the road. I like that. Give me the under 37.5. And I know Tomlin's good as a rookie. I think the Rams, as a dog, I think the Rams are really kind of rolling out in L.A. I'm going to go with the Rams minus the 3.5 in terms of best bet. I think they're getting things going out there. They're sneaky, kind of under the radar as a team still in the Super Bowl mix. And if you look at like what they've done, beat up on the Seahawks, respectable team in the Seahawks. Lose by a score to the 49ers. It was a fake score because they kicked the field goal at the end. Lose by 3 to the Bengals, at the Bengals. Beat the Colts, lose by 9 to the Eagles, smash the Cardinals. Like, they're beating the bad teams.
I like the Rams.
They're beating the bad
You guys like
teams
the
and
Rams?
mediocre teams. They're losing close to the good teams. You look at what the Steelers are doing. They're 3-2. Yes, did beat the Ravens and beat the Browns, but got smashed by the 49ers, beat the Raiders, and got smashed by the Texans. Off of a bye with Tomlin, I think probably you're worried about that. I would imagine he's pretty good off of a bye, but I like the Rams. I think it's just a better team at home, minus the 3.5. I would imagine a lot of public is on the Rams, but the public can be right in certain spots. I think you pick and choose your spots. I like the Rams a lot here.
Are we
a
all
lot.
Are we all on the Rams?
Yeah,
All
like
right, I'm riding. I'm riding on the Rams.
I like the Rams a lot. So, yeah, you got the parlay. I'll get back to you to end it. What do you have NFL picks straight up?
you got to plug your nose a little bit, but even though you don't know who the quarterback's probably going to be, but Browns -3 against the Colts, I think their defense is literally just going to win them that game. Minshew is not – he's just not it, and I think the Colts could take a little bit of a slowdown. I love the Browns -3. I said they're like the Ravens -3. You guys are going to kill me. Bears +2.5. Badgett, I can't believe I'm going to say it. I think he's going to beat them. I think the Raiders are kind of in like fucking
Raiders are in trouble.
in turmoil.
Why did that line to go to +3? I don't like +3.
I hate the game. I want to bet it because it's so bad.
Were you here when Ev did that? I was talking about how the NFL. Well,
Yeah.
and he was doing.
Yeah.
fucking.
That game sucks.
It's horrible.
But I also love. There's two more games where one of Buccaneers, I'm 2.5. I think Ritter on the road is just really bad. And then this one, plug your nose as well. Broncos +1. This slate's gonna be brutal.
I grabbed the under in that game.
I like Broncos +1, Bucks -2.5, and I think right now I'm leaning Dolphins. I don't know if you guys.
I'm
touched on
leaning
it.
Dolphins too.
I want that to get to 3. I'm waiting for that to get to 3 too. It's +2.5
So-
right now.
Yeah, I like the Dolphins in that.
Hey, buy yourself a half a point.
I might. I'm still.
Don't buy
I
points.
I probably will by Saturday. What do you say?
Never
James?
buy points.
I don't like buying points.
Why?
So I think you win one bet when you buy a half a point. I don't think that Jack Mack's done a great explanation on it, but when you buy half a point, it saves you that one time and it sticks in your head forever.
Right.
But really, over time, what's the amount of times that a bet has really saved you by a half a point, a point?
Right.
Usually, it clearly covers or it clearly doesn't.
My point.
Okay.
My
like
point
over
is
time, I
this.
want to do it all the time.
That's
If you do it
analytics
once in a while, who
thinking,
cares?
James. I love it.
My
Yeah.
point is this: the books don't give you options to win. They wouldn't give
I like
you.
that,
They
yeah.
wouldn't give you the option if it was like that detrimental. to
Like,
them.
have I bought in points before? Yes, in big games when it's like.
You're
Can we
betting
try that?
Just
Can we
spend a lot of money.
can we try the tense of that verb one more time?
Did I fuck that up?
No.
Oh,
Try that one more time.
Repeat what you just said.
Have I blank points before?
have I bought points before?
Okay.
What'd you say? What'd you say? Bolton.
Bolton.
I like Bolton.
We're keeping everybody on.
Did I say Boughton?
Yeah.
And you know what? If I did, I could say whatever the fuck I want as a 25-year-old.
25-year-old.
You see that? Dayton English department?
Yeah,
What
come
is
on.
it?
We're not going to attack that. We're not
You're an
going to attack
educated
that.
scholar, dudes. What are you talking about? You can't speak like that.
Did you
I
graduate
actually
in
don't
20
agree
years?
with that. Every word at one point or another was just made up.
Oh, dude, don't. If we want to have this we'll sit here all day.
Show's
talking
off the
about
rails.
words.
Dukes, give you. I can't.
Why is a ceiling called a ceiling?
Right,
Makes
right.
no sense.
This was a good one that was asked on Barstool Radio. Do
French
you guys know
word.
the last letter in the alphabet that was added?
Oh, yeah. What?
What?
The last letter, the last of the 26 that was added into the alphabet. What's the last letter?
V.
No.
Q.
No.
L?
No.
I don't know.
J. Because there was G's already. So, like, somebody had to add the J because it was J sounding.
I like that.
Last quick trivia question. What's the 7 ways to get to first base?
I saw this, so I know it. But I got close.
Then I got close to.
I got very close, and then the last one stumped me.
Single.
Yep.
Walk. Hit by pitch. Error. Miss strike 3. Like a strike 3 thing.
2 more. Yeah.
A fielder's choice.
Okay.
And it catches interference.
Good for you, Clem.
You got it. Fielder's choice was what hung
Fielder's
these guys
choice
up
got
on
me a
TikTok.
second.
How about that, huh? Pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Good. All right, Dukes, give us a pick to end it. Meek, you got something
USC -7
Yeah.
and LSU -32.5.
too. All right.
I got 3 plug your nose picks. I like Pat's money line, Chargers money line. Clemmer, what was that third team in the Monster money line parlay?
That was Kansas City Chiefs.
No, I said that.
Seattle Seahawks.
Okay, Cardinals money line. Add that too.
Why? Why are you against me?
Well, if I hit one of them, that's positive units.
Yeah. I said Green Bay, Denver under 45, Lions +3, and I'm riding with these guys on the Rams. And then tonight, Phillies money line, Rangers money line. I don't want to have to get my legs waxed.
Yeah.
What's the legs waxed?
Yeah, if the Rangers lose the series, the Astros win the series, I have to get both my legs waxed by Joey here.
Definitely. All right.
Oh, yeah, because you were supposed to.
If we get one leg waxed, Dukes and I are doing double or nothing.
That's Pick Central. If you're at a wedding on Saturday,
I'm at a wedding tonight.
take a little bit out of the envelope. They're assholes for getting married on. You are?
You're wedding tonight.
Oh, that's fine. Tomorrow's a big Saturday in college football, and you knew about it a year in advance. Take a little out of the envelope. They get married on Saturday. They're assholes.
I like a Friday wedding, honestly.
Friday wedding. Yeah, or do Monday like the Obamas. That's the weekend. We'll see you on Monday.